so glad you made it. The show's about to start. Everyone says it's to die for. Come on.
Sloppy Joe's, my special recipe.
You're not like some crazy wackadoodle, are you?
Bury me in the cemetery. I want people to dance on my grave. Not alone, I'll strip to the bones. And in the moonlight misbehave. Happy dead people laying in line. Happy dead people have a lot of time to think about those many things that happiness in death brings.
That's what I like best. Finding buried tales.
People live in Ohio and not know about any of this.
What are you talking about?
Ohio's the serial killer capital of the world.
Are you kidding me? Ohio?
I mean, Harvey Donald, better known as the Angel of Death. The Blood Brothers, Gary and Thaddeus Lewington. I mean, hell, we've even got Charles Manson and Jeffrey Dahmer.
You guys have either been watching too many horror films and drinking a little bit too much, or you are just a few campers shy of a slasher film.
You can't be back. Come on, you can't be back.
It was a man, a beast, a thing. We found Mary, he killed Mary, it killed Mary, and he got the man at the bar and the woman, and he's just not gonna stop, and now he's after us, and I don't even know why.
Welcome back to another episode of Film Speak. This is a whole new season as we go into season 3, so we're kind of switching things up. I am lucky enough to be sitting here with two wonderful guests. I have Ryan Ashball sitting here with me and Raz T. Slasher here to talk about film projects they've been involved in and some of their upcoming things, stuff they've done, their opinions. Great to have you guys. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
And then after we talk for a minute, we're going to get down to breaking down the classic movie Army of Darkness, which is just a king of all movies. Hail to the king, baby. But before we get there, let's start with you, Ryan. You've just been new to the film community since this past fall.
Yeah. You introduced me, actually, I've been having a lot of fun with it.
Well, when somebody said that they needed Nazi zombies for extras, I was like, I know the guy. You know, so I told Al Harlan, I said, I think he even has his own costume. We're going to be okay here.
I've got my own equipment for, Halloween.
So what did you think about that day of filming?
That was fun. Al's a great guy. You know, of course, he's a, limey.
He's a limey bad. Well, I almost said a bad word. Yeah.
He is quite the limey, but it's a good thing.
He's a remarkable man, great sense of humor, and a great vision for Uber Zombie Frau, which, keep your eye out. Al Harland has Uber Zombie Frau coming out fairly soon. It's all in post right now.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to come out. I want my copy so I can watch it.
And since then, you have helped me score a couple of films, and then also worked sound on a film.
Yeah, that was fun too. Yeah, that was an incredible experience. Writing the songs for your movies has been a lot of fun, and like filling in for the anthology, and that one scene where I'm bound up on the table with all the greens and the lime in my mouth that was fun.
What do you think of the perspective being somebody new into filmmaking? Does it change how you look at films when you watch them?
Absolutely. It's because it's like when I watch a scene, I'll imagine, all of the people around making the magic happen, like the sound guy and the cameraman and, the focus pullers and, the director, and all of that stuff is going on, and yet the perspective of the screen, they take away from that, and it's a very interesting form of art.
Absolutely.
And I think it's absolutely incredible. It's a great way to get a point across, lots of messages. And
I've always felt that in the modern age of art, that film is the true marriage of the visual, like paintings and and writing and acting, music and sound.
Yeah.
I mean, spoken word. I mean, you take all these things and tie them together like weaving in a blanket.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people think that like classical music is dead, but movies, I mean, what would a movie be without a soundtrack?
Without somebody scoring it, without them providing that sound. And I always find it remarkable when, like, Oingo Boingo, when I just had a brain fart. Danny Elfman, left Oingo Boingo and started scoring movies and stuff. And then you had Trent Reznor from 9 Inch Nails basically scoring and winning an Oscar for Social Media. That just amazing to see that.
Yeah, Danny Elfman's actually one of my greatest inspirations. I feel like he's one of my favorite modern composers of our day and age. A lot of people, he's done a lot of like really famous works that people would notice, like the Simpsons theme song.
Oh yeah.
And he sang in
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Nightbreed.
A lot of Tim Burton's movies. The Nightmare Before Christmas, he actually sang Jack Skellington's part.
Yeah, which is just remarkable.
Yeah.
And and I think about that, and I guess a little bit of irony behind it, because to me, when I think Danny Elfman, I still think of me being 16 years old, dancing in my underwear on my bed to "Let's Have a Party, There's a Full Moon in the Sky, It's the Hour of the Wolf." It's just remarkable. Now, Raz, you have been busy as of late.
Oh yeah.
You have the Mimes in Post.
Yep.
And you're writing the companion book series.
Yep,
I'm go along with that.
I think by the end of next month at the latest, I'll be done with the first book. And then I'll get started on the script for Mime 2, which I think we're going to try and film this year.
Yeah, this summer. That would be remarkable. I'm very jazzed about working with you.
Yeah, man, we made you DP, and it's really exciting for all of us to get a chance to work together again.
And for those of you who do not know movie technology or terminology, DP means director of photography. So
just to clear that
watch it when you Google it, because you're going to get something completely different.
Yeah, don't Google it. But yeah, mostly I've been busy with the podcast. We just did our 43rd episode. We've got over 1,200 listeners now on a regular basis.
Now for our whole 6 people watching, can you let them know how they can find your podcast on the internet?
The easiest way is to go to Facebook. It is the Raz and Dark Podcast. That's R-A-Z, the letter N, Dark Podcast. We've had a chance to interview a lot of great people. The famous author Christopher Moore, one of my personal favorites. Had Mark Tufo, Sean Renette, a lot of different people. And once a month we do our Cards Against Humanity episode, where we literally just do random postings online, and whoever answers them gets to come on and play the game with us. We've been working a lot with Mestrelaw Fantasy Games, which is who is publishing the Mime book series. We've also been doing a lot of crossovers and promos with them as far as the show goes.
And I know also with through your podcast, you're a huge supporter of local filmmakers.
Yes.
And you have had scores of actors, local writers, filmmakers, cameramen. I mean, pretty much a wide breadth of everybody from Cincinnati, Columbus, and Dayton involved in the film community.
New Zealand.
Wow,
almost every state in America by this point in time. Canada. Yeah, we have listeners in Japan. I mean, it's spread out in pretty interesting ways. One of our 4 main co-hosts is actually from New Zealand, and then the rest of us, the other 3 of us are all in different states. So we have to really time things just right to all be on at the same time.
So what this means is if you're in the area, working in the arts, or not even in the arts, you could have a restaurant, something that you just want to get out to people. look up Raz on the internet, and I was a guest on his show,
Yeah.
and I have to say, I will admit that it is a ton of fun, so I recommend it to
And we're
anybody.
definitely bringing you back soon.
Good stuff, good stuff.
And we also just started a new line of Let's Play videos. It's the kind of videos where you watch someone play a video game. You don't actually see our faces when we do it because there's too many of us when we're doing the commentary. We just did Five Nights at Freddy's 3 like less than a day
Oh, sweet.
after it came out, so we were the first people to get that on there. And my co-hosts Mariah and John, just every time there was a jump scare, just lost their minds. And Dark and I just pretty much laughed the whole time and make fun of them.
Remember the first time I played Resident Evil, which was Resident Evil 2. Scared the crap out of me. The only
yeah?
video game I ever played in my life where I'd be playing it and all the lights are out and I'd be playing all of a sudden.
I had a weird
didn't see that
situation. Silent Hill 2. The first time I ever played it, there was this really bad storm. And you know how you're always told, if there's a bad storm, turn off your game system because it could zap you if lightning hits. Well, lightning hits the building, goes through this really weird old TV tower, comes through the wall and through the controller and zapped the crap at me, just as a zombie turned around to eat me. And I didn't play that game in the dark for like a week.
Now, Ryan, are you interested in getting involved in more filmmaking in the area?
Oh, absolutely. It's been a ton of fun. It's really something that I enjoy doing. You meet a lot of people, a lot of really great and talented people.
And you're not limited by your interest because you want to maybe get into acting also.
Oh yeah, it's ever since I was little, I've always been impersonating movies and watching films, and it's.
That's the biggest thing because a lot of times when people ask, hey, can I be in your movie? My question is not usually, can you act? That's not the first question, at least. The first question is, can you be natural in front of camera? Because more important to me than the initial, can you act, is just, can you be yourself in front of a camera? Because you don't want to be sitting there delivering lines and, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
And, as long as you're comfortable with yourself and comfortable in front of the camera, that's the biggest step. You can learn acting after that,
yeah.
As long as you get past that initial bump.
Right. You shouldn't pretend as though you're being watched.
Yeah. And, you have to be conversational.
Right.
Right. Because don't speak in patterns you normally would not talk like in your delivery.
But it's so awesome.
Yeah, he made a career out of it. So.
Yeah, nobody else can do it but him. He pretty much just owned that and stole it.
Only one Rocket Man.
Now, you have the podcast and you have Mime 2 coming up.
Yeah.
I know we have a couple of projects. We're not talking about those. You guys
Not yet. Yeah.
Find out when that happens.
Oh yeah.
You're not a part of this conversation.
Super secret stuff.
Super secret stuff. Yeah. You need a decoder pin just to be able to talk to us.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a secret.
It's a super secret squirrel.
Is there anything else you'd like everybody to know about what's coming up?
That's a lot of what I'm doing right now. I did just start my own production company officially with my wife and my best friend Nick. It's called House of Laszlo. We were, a big part of that for the Mime. We started kicking it off last year, but this year we were able to get an investor, so we were able to get a lot of equipment.
Yeah.
So we're writing a comedy right now, which we're trying to get you involved and anyone that's interested. It's going to be sketch comedy. You got everything from Norman Bates Orange Juice to there's just so many different weird skits. Cereal, I think it's called Shredded Corn Chunks. It's basically Children of the Corn cereal. There's a knife in every box. You see these kids all excited pouring the cereal. What'd you get in the box? He pulls out a knife like that long.
we need a goofy redheaded kid to be on the front of it to be Malachi.
Yeah. But yeah, just
strange looking.
We just want to have fun this year. Last year we did a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
In film, it's touch and go. You can get with a project that's great, but sometimes those projects fall apart. And the worst thing that you can do is give up.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard, but at the end of the day, when you've actually completed a project, that's when it's worth it. It's...
People hear me say this so much, but I never stop because it's my mantra, which is assess, adapt, overcome. When you're in a situation, you assess the situation, adapt to the situation, and then overcome the situation.
I agree.
And that's with filmmaking because, you always have people who, hey, we got this great group. You'll always have people fall to the side. You always have conflict of interest or people get other ideas about what they want to do and stuff.
Yeah.
And, it's no hard feelings.
Yep.
You know, it's just it's the nature of the business.
You move on and find something else to do.
And I'm going to get smacked for this, but I tell you what, you know, filmmakers, musicians, anybody in the arts entertainment world, you have a high level of flakes.
Yeah.
You just can't escape it. Something about the narcissistic quality of what we're doing just attracts flaky people. Hey, you know, you got to work with them because, you know, you either work with them or you don't work. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because, you know, in this industry, everyone is an artist. You know, you've got, you know, even the people who run the equipment, like, you know, they've got their own style of doing things.
There's an art to being a sound guy.
Yeah.
There truly is. You know, there's definitely an art to being a cameraman. You nailed it right on the head that every little proportion is its own artistry.
Right. I think that's also what makes it so incredible. You know, you get all these people who are just, you know, so talented at what they do and love what they're doing. They're really passionate about it, and that's what makes it so great and so much of a pleasure.
Now, with Mime 2 coming up, I guess we could probably say to our handful of viewers, keep an eye out. Look on Facebook for the Mime pages and stuff. Keep up with us. Probably when it happens, we'll announce it on Burn Mill and FilmSpeak 2 for the auditions for Mime 2.
Yeah.
But look for late spring, early summer. We'll probably be holding auditions to start filling the parts for those.
That way we can get some table reads done and
start abusing some actors because
hit it up.
That's the best part.
Nerf guns.
Well, thank you guys for joining me. Please stay tuned because we're about to break down the most incredible film, Army of Darkness. Okay, maybe it's an incredible film for only dorks like me and us, but it's still an incredible film. We'll see you in a minute.
And now it's time for the Cafe 125 show.
Are you happy with that? Does that sound good? All right. And we're recording, and on 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey guys, it's great to be here in downtown Dayton tonight. I'm telling you what, Dayton, Ohio. Woo! I like to tell people when I tell them that I'm from Dayton, Ohio, that they're like, Dayton, Ohio, it's no place. And I'm like, no, man, Dayton, Ohio, pride of the Midwest. We're like 90 minutes from Columbus. We're like 60 minutes from Cincinnati, 10 minutes from Despair, which leads me to something very important that I found out about Dayton, that it's a great place to be from, as far from it as you can get. You know, and if you're an out-of-towner and you just happen to spend, maybe 30 minutes here and catch the early morning newscast, you will know that there's one quality about Dayton, Ohio, is that we are stupid serious about our weather. I mean, no kidding. You catch any local broadcast, right? And it's like they've got Ride of the Valkyries playing in the background. Bum, 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 bum. And then, you know, the news anchor gets on very seriously. He's looking at the camera and he says, an assassination attempt on the President of the United States. But first, the weather. I mean, we got to be the only city that I know of whose slogan is 90 minutes of weather every 15 minutes. But, you know, Dayton's not that bad of a place. I mean, it's a great place if you like hot rodding. I mean, I love me some American muscle, you know, steel, iron. My very first car. Yeah, my first car, 1973 Ford Grand Torino. Oh, yeah. Didn't really realize how big that car was until I took it to the BMV for the first time to put a license plate on it, get it registered, you know. I felt all manly, all 5 foot tall of me, you know. And I went out there and I found that I had to register a zip code for that car instead of a license plate. That hood was so long, I pulled out of the lot first time I was driving it, and a small commuter plane tried to land on the hood. Of course, I got all excited, man. I jumped out and I threw on the brakes, and I'm like, the plane! The plane! But you know, it's awesome. We need to get MT for you here. You got oxygen, maybe? You're good to go. Got it. So yeah, but you know, today's cars, man. I don't know. They're like sewing machines. If you ever look under the hood of a modern car, I mean, they're tiny. I got a chance to pull up the hood of a Hyundai recently, and there was a sewing machine in there. You know, I knew it was the RX model because, well, it had the self-winding bobbin and the zipper foot for speed. Wow. You know, and I mean, hey, I made a comment about the fact that I was only, 5 foot tall. That is absolutely true. And talking about driving, I don't really want to say how short I am to a lot of people, but when you look at my driver's license and height box, it just says shown actual size. Yeah, I mean, and then, I get people who've said to me, well, do you like girls that are taller than you? I'm like, do I have a choice? I'm like, now, my lovely wife, who couldn't be here tonight, is actually 5'7". That is true. And I found out, God forbid, if anything happens to her, that I absolutely lose the use of the top half of the house. It's like, goodbye ice cream. Hello dog food. me and the dogs are already arguing who's over going to drink out of the toilet. I actually told somebody, I told my wife that about losing out on the ice cream if something happened to her. She said, not a problem. Tell you what, I'll make it easy on you. We'll go, before anything happens to me, we'll go buy one of those reverse freezer things where the freezer's on the bottom and you can have all the ice cream you want. And I said to my friends, hey, that's great, isn't it? And they're like, yeah, but Dave, then you can't reach the milk. And I said, that's no big deal. I'm like, I can't reach those magic Lucky Charms no matter how great they are. So anyway, before I close, I'm going to tell you the thing that's worst about being 5 foot tall. Buying pants. I mean, most of you guys can go off and buy pants right off the shelf, No, not me. Usually I got to go someplace where they're going to be hemmed. So I walk in the store, and it's one of those nicer places, it's not like Walmart. You go into the store, and you watch all the clerks run to the back like somebody turned on a light. And then I'm trying to get some help, and I see them all back there doing rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock, or something, trying to figure out who's going to wait on me. And eventually, some poor southern sweet lady is the winner. And usually she'll say something like, sir, may I help you? And I will be, yes, ma'am, I would like to buy some pants, please. And she'll say, oh, dear, sugar, what size are you? And I proudly announce, 4612. Comfort fit. Relaxed waist. And she'll pause. Bless your heart. Those are actually a special order from our Oompa Loompa catalog. So I ordered 10 pair. Cost me a week's pay at the chocolate factory. Thank you very much, folks. My name's Dave Beals.
Thank you very much for coming on the show,
Thank
Dave.
you very much. I appreciate you having me. See, it's no lie. I'm really this short. I thought we were doing a thing. Sorry.
Now, where can people find out more information about you?
I usually keep my webpage up at davebealscomedy.com.
And do you do shows locally around Dayton?
I've actually done shows throughout all of Ohio, so any place in the Ohio drivable region, I'm open for.
So Columbus, the comedy clubs Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati.
Yep, anything like that. I also work a lot of private shows because all my material is clean. So I don't do blue, and I'm okay with comics that do, but for my style, that's just me.
So you can do church organizations,
absolutely,
family-oriented fairs, stuff like that.
Yes, absolutely.
So a darn funny man who doesn't need to get blue to express it, even
Except
when
in
he's
my
wearing
shirt.
a blue shirt. Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate you.
You have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you. You can fade to black now.
Yes. Here we are back at FilmSpeak, sitting with Raz and Ryan. Raz and Ryan, that sounds like you guys just ready-made for a movie.
I know.
like a buddy comedy.
Yeah, dude. I'm totally
like
in for a buddy
Silent
cop
Bob
movie.
type
Jay and Silent Bob, I was kind of picturing like the whole Bob Hope, Bing Crosby, Road to movie series.
Would you be the bad cop or the good cop?
I'm not sure.
Raz and Ryan on the high road to China.
We can switch it up, though.
That would be funny.
Anyways, we are back here to talk about the most excellent cult classic, Army of Darkness. Yeah. Part of the Evil Dead trilogy. Ash, Bruce Campbell, just one of my favorite, one of my most entertaining favorite guilty pleasure movies. Maybe right underneath Big Trouble in Little China is Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
We'll open the floor with you guys first. We'll go with the kid, the youngin. Ryan, your opinion on Army of Darkness?
Army of Darkness, I absolutely loved because Bruce Campbell, of course, you know, the chin and everything. But the way that they styled it, because, you know, it's, you know, the budget, you know, what they did with it, like, you know, the skeletons and the makeup and like the of like when he's getting chased through the woods with that monster, and you don't see the monster, it's just the camera from the monster's perspective, and Ash is just scrambling through the bushes.
And then that's a throwback to the original, because that's the style originated in the original Evil Dead. When Sam Raimi did that, it was done with almost no budget, and he at the time was a stage magician. So a lot of his horror techniques that he used in the film were actually magician's techniques. Sleight of hand and misdirection. But I agree with you. And what did he constantly just putting a camera on a 2x4 and having two guys run with it low to the ground.
Yeah.
And the effect that has, you know, and you put that music with it.
You can't forget the John Deere tractors.
Yeah. Is that where he got that noise from?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and then, you know, in Evil Dead, I think it's the second one, where they're going through the woods and the trees are getting knocked down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the tractor knocking the trees down.
Oh, wow.
That is awesome.
If you pause it, you can actually see the edge of the tractor.
You can sometimes see it pop up. Yeah. Now, you, Raz, what is your feelings of the Army of Darkness movies?
The Evil Dead trilogy is probably my favorite of all time, especially Army of Darkness. You know, we saw kind of a different direction. It was a lot more comedic than Evil Dead 1 and 2 was.
Yeah.
Like, a lot more comedic, which brought out this whole other side of Bruce Campbell. It's, you know, I think it's the movie that kind of made him.
Yeah.
What he is now. Every line that anyone ever wants him to do in public is usually from Army of Darkness, not Evil Dead. And he gets pretty aggravated. But I mean, I would too if someone followed me around constantly.
He did get aggravated until this huge resurgence over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And because of that, and with the new Army of Darkness and how much he has noticed, I think it benefiting him.
Yeah.
His attitude towards it has changed.
It has. But I mean, I've met him probably 8 times now. Every time I've talked to him, one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. Real laid back, you know, loves kids.
Yeah.
Always bumps kids up to the front of the line no matter what he's doing for what, which I think is pretty awesome. But overall, I think the movie really impacted me. I was pretty young when it came out. And I begged my mom for 3 weeks to take me to the drive-in and see it. And she finally caved in. And to this day, that's like an experience that I got to share with my family. Because my brother, my sister, myself, and my mom, we all went and saw it together.
A remarkable thing about Army of Darkness, it has so many different types of special effects. Mm-hmm. You have stop-motion animation, just regular special effects with explosions and blood splatter. I mean, but also, it happened to come out at a time right before Jurassic Park. And Spielberg with Jurassic Park was introducing new digital special effects technology. Yeah. Well, Sam Raimi managed to get a 30-second digital special effect at the last minute, worked into Army of Darkness so he could have it released, and said that his movie came out first with that technology.
Nice.
And it's only just like 30 seconds. Little digital input in the, towards the end with when Evil Ash is raising the army and everything.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just really quick, little digital special effects added in there. But it was enough to where Sam Raimi could say, you know, I beat Spielberg.
For a long time, like, I would just keep notebooks full of ideas, gaming stuff, and on the front I would write Klaatu, Verata, and then I'd put necktie on the bottom.
Necktie.
And anyone that read necktie was not allowed to open the notebook. I would smack them. I would pick up the notebook and I would slap them until they said it correctly.
You know where that comes from?
I used to, but I've completely forgot by now.
Yeah, see, that's an homage to classic 1950s sci-fi with The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yep, that's it.
The original. Because those are the words that the alien uses to turn on the robot to control it. Is Klaatu, Verata.
I'd completely forgotten about that.
Huh. And that's what Sam Raimi, you know, one of his favorite films, so he managed to work that into Army of Darkness, which always ticked me off about that crappy Keanu Reeves remake. You know, I don't care how hot I think Jennifer Connelly is. That movie was crap.
It was, yeah, I agree.
And I probably would have said, moved it, like graduated it from crap to just being okay, if one time Keanu Reeves would have said, Klaatu, Verata, Nikto, dude, you know, and then that would have been enough for me. Yeah. But they did not mention that through the whole film.
Right.
Instead, he ended up controlling the robot through, I think, psychic waves or some crap like that. Didn't have to say anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes I think, you know, some Hollywood producers, writers, and directors should be taken out behind the lot and shot in the back of the head like a sick horse, saying, I am preventing you from screwing up any more great movies.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking, because if someone, I feel like if somebody ever does try to remake Army of Darkness, it's going to be with that grand, you know, digitalized, animated scale.
Well, it's like they keep talking about wanting to remake Big Trouble in Little China. And the only way I'd be happy is if I could do it.
Right.
You know, if you're going to F it up, then let me be the guy who F's it up. Please. I won't F it up as bad. I promise. Yeah, Army of Darkness, because we were talking about this just before, like in between segments and everything, is one of the most quotable movies I've ever come across. I try to fit quotes into that film any chance I get, which is not easy. Because, you know, how many times can you in a crowd just say, okay, shop smart, shop S-smart. Good night.
Up?
Listen up, you primitive screwheads. The next one you use so much is touches me. I think for a while when I was younger, I might have modeled myself a bit after Bruce Campbell. I wish I had such a strong chin.
Oh, yeah.
Don't we all?
Yeah. I have to grow a beard now just to cover it up.
That chin could cut steel.
If chins could talk.
The chin.
That's what we should just call him, the chin.
And we had mentioned this earlier, because my favorite ending, if you viewers out there, if you watch the director's cut, they have the apocalypse ending on the director's cut, which is Ash sleeps too long, and spoilers, and comes out in the apocalypse, and he's like, no. Well, we all prefer the S-smart ending, where Ash comes back to his modern time, gave up being king, and is back just being a retail guy in an S-smart store.
Because that's where he belongs.
Because that's where he belongs. Good, bad, I'm the guy with the gun.
Yeah.
What's your favorite, Ryan? You know, because we'll be drawing this to a close. What's your favorite part of Army of Darkness?
You know, I've got to say, it's probably when he's in the windmill, after he gets chased and he's in the windmill and he's got all those little hymns running around and they tie him down and then he drinks that boiling water and then the other one grows out of him and he's, you know.
How about some hot chocolate?
Yeah. But it's hard to tell because I just love how cocky he is through that whole film and how chauvinistic and how he, you know, treats everyone like.
I love the whole movie, but I'd say my favorite's probably the first 15 minutes.
Yeah. The pit for me.
The pit.
When he first gets the chainsaw again. Oh.
The irony is so thick when that old woman is like, into the pit with those bloodthirsty sons of whores.
And then takes a bite of the bread. See, I just love the camera shot of that.
Yeah.
Just remarkable stuff. You know, in the whole exchange with the king, sword boy, boom!
Puts his foot on him and just kicks him off.
It was great.
Yeah, great scene. And I can't tell you, I mean, if I'm sure everybody has heard me, but a lot of times, like when I leave someplace, my exit line is "Thank you, generous host," which is what the Red says as he's fleeing the castle.
Yeah.
I say that at least 5 times a week. I'll say it leaving a grocery store.
I like to go, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
It never gets old.
Never gets old. No, it wouldn't with me. That would be a point score. I'd like put a check up every time.
Right.
Raz, 1
Gold
point.
star sticker.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for coming on and joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
I guess the general opinion here is watch Army of Darkness. Yes. And if you don't like it, you probably would not like hanging out with us.
Right.
There is a good chance of that.
It would
Vice
irritate
versa.
you quickly.
Thank you for watching us on FilmSpeak and indulging us. And we'll catch you next week. You guys have a great day.